I can't tell you how happy I am that the Charles Darwin notebooks containing the 1837 Tree of Life sketch are home again, safe and home at the University Library where they belong. We don't know a lot, but the facts are that the notebooks were left anonymously in a public place inside the University Library, and they were left inside a large pink gift bag. Inside the gift bag was the original archive box, just a little larger than the notebooks themselves, and also a plain brown office envelope which contained the notebooks themselves. And the notebooks were tightly wrapped in cling film, but they are in very, very good condition.
The most important theory in the natural sciences is probably the theory of evolution by natural selection, which was discovered by Charles Darwin. And these are the notebooks in which Charles Darwin worked out his theory. I know that people often talk about emotions as a process these days, and for me, that's very much the way it was when I heard that the notebooks had been recovered. The first stage for me was really, I think, astonishment and maybe a bit of incredulity. I could hardly believe that they had been found again. The second stage was one of relief, because I think anyone associated with the University Library and with Cambridge knew how important these notebooks were. And then the third stage, I think, is one of connection, really, because when I held these notebooks again in my hand, I know what they contain, I know the text, but there was something about the idea that these were the notebooks that Darwin walked around in London, went to meetings, talked to his father, talked to his barber, talked about a whole range of issues with many, many different people, and these were those notebooks. And this is the place in which those great discoveries were actually made.
Cambridge University Library is one of the greatest libraries in the world, and I am really delighted that these notebooks are back safely in the strong rooms, but also that they will be on show from July at a free exhibition called Darwin in Conversation. We hadn't dreamt that we'd be able to include these in the public exhibition when we were planning it, but now they're back, we can, and everyone will have a chance to see them. I'd like to say just such a warm thank you to the public and to the police. The tremendous response we had from around the world, it showed just how much Darwin is loved as a scientific figure and how much these notebooks meant, not just to us here in Cambridge, but to the whole world. Thank you.